Hello, welcome to the Lullawix channel. I'm Astra. I'm going to play Synergy today while you relax, fall asleep or study. Let's hit new game. Now I don't know very much about this game. I've played City Builders before, but not this one. It's well thought of, I think. Let's go with Scorched Earth. It is recommended. Story? Let's go with the Scorched Earth tutorial. The origins. A group of exiles driven out of the dried out oasis that protected them until now needs to recover. However, their resources are meager, the climate challenges them at every turn, and the desert is full of strange and dangerous mysteries. Right? Now, what I have been attracted to by this game is the art. It is absolutely stunning. The colour palette's on point. It's got this beautiful hand-drawn style. It reminds me a little bit of Sable, something like that. It's almost graphic novel-esque, which is very different to the sort of 3D city builders that you might see in general. For 2 generations, our community lived in an oasis, protected from the hazards of the outside world, but like everywhere else, we had no choice but to leave our homes. All is not lost. After crossing a sea of sand, we reached the shores of some new lakes. This will be the perfect place for us to settle, but first we need to plan the urban layout of the area. Central Square will give the city its initial structure. That seems fair enough. You've discovered a place that seems to fit a new city. Your mission is to develop it so it can overcome environmental challenges, meet its citizens' needs, and ensure their well-being. Cities are structured around interconnected districts, which cooperate to profit from surrounding resources. Each district grows around a central square. Start designing your first district by building a founder's square. Alright. So we've got all these people that are sort of standing around. We can move to an optical location. We can zoom. Do we have somewhere that is suggested already? We do. In amongst all these trees, nice and shady, which in today's heat wave would be very welcome. So we can rotate with the shift key. Let's go there. We can speed up time if we want to, but I'm just going to have a look at some of these animations. They seem very busy little people. Seem pretty chill. Do they have names? They do have names. Hello, Malkian. Zola. Shall we have a look at you? We don't have any housing or a job. No specific needs, and you're very healthy. Interesting. Our square is nearly built now. Genshin, can we have you? We can't, not yet. Maybe because we're in the tutorial. Since our arrival, people in the camp have been sleeping under the stars, with nothing but a thin blanket to withstand the cold desert nights. Despite our city's first construction, citizens don't feel much safer than before. Interesting. Well, I've really only built a town square at the moment. While our builders wonder how to construct stable houses on sand, we must build temporary housing. Tents should do for now. Righto. We need to build 6 rustic tent in the district. All your citizens' needs are communicated through their housing. Their vital requests include food, clean water, and a comfortable ambient temperature. By meeting their basic needs, you will ensure their survival. Alright, later on you'll be able to satisfy their secondary requests, called satisfactions, which provide important bonuses to the city. Fair enough. Okay, we get kids if the housing capacity exceeds the number of citizens. They can be born. Alright, let's place some tents in our district. So the green line gives us our sort of district limitation. Let's put them under trees. Or near some trees, because that's just nice. There. Okay, we have a exclamation mark. We do not wish to destroy you. There goes our tents. The exclamation mark's just telling us that we've completed the build. And that people have moved in. Lovely. To really launch our city, we have to stock up on needed materials. Luckily, a small quarry of boreal rock stands just... Quarry, not quarrel. That's an argument of rocks. Maybe that's a new plural. A small quarry of boreal rock stands just south of our settlement. Also, several citizens have volunteered to extract stones and use them to build a first warehouse. Let's confirm the order with the volunteers and choose the perfect spot for our small warehouse. All right. The rip out action is the most basic method to extract resources, but it also destroys map elements in the process. You will find it in the fast actions bar. Some collectible elements, such as rocky amalgams, can only be ripped out. Use this method to get boreal rock. All collected waters must be stored, hence the warehouse, I presume. So let's rip this out. The task might take some time. Let's rip you out for some rock. It does seem as though we could probably use some rock, so I will take these 5 little rocks here because we've got a lot of people standing around doing not very much. In the meantime, let's decide what to do with this warehouse. It should probably come close to the square because we're going to be building fairly close around this green district, so we try and keep it nice and central. And hopefully that rock that people are making should contribute to the warehouse. Resources must also be transported by citizens to various buildings, therefore you need to keep enough citizens available for transport by not assigning them all to do specific tasks. Well, fair enough. It's no good keeping everybody completely productive all the time. That is not the way to a happy society. Citizens follow your direct orders first, and then the tasks they deem important. You can prioritize things if you want. Okay. Can we rip these trees out? I don't want to rip the big ones out. That would probably be inadvisable, one would think. We need to pay some paths. Alright, let's pay some paths. In the past, our community has tried to collect resources from its environment without understanding it. We have witnessed plants wither, meager groves scorched, and quarries depleted. We must not repeat that mistake again. To better understand the behaviour of local specimens, we need to equip our scientists with a field laboratory and send them on an expedition to study those species. Alright? To meet your citizens' needs and develop your city, you require resources, even if you have no idea where to find any. Therefore, we build a laboratory. Yes, that makes sense. Let's build the field lab a little further out because there are things that we need to discover all around us. So we're going to put it right on the edge over here. And we're going to build a path that runs between this stockpile, the lab, and the warehouse. Right. Since we don't have anybody picking things, I'm just going to pick a couple more rocks. Select the building, or we've built it already. Select the building and assign some citizens. I'm just going to assign 2. 1. Performing environmental analysis with the field lab enables you to learn the characteristics of nearby plants. This knowledge will help you get resources without harming your citizens or the environment. That makes sense. Fine, let's analyze this bush. Okay, if we click on the lab, we can add a surface analysis. Let's add the plant. Okay, and I think that should send our little scientist, who's now wearing different clothes, off to analyze this bush, which should get us information about whether it's good to eat or not. This is our research tree. This lab looks great. It's got a little robot arm and some glass vials of stuff. Always a good thing in a lab, I think. Okay, we have an analysis report. The fruit encased in a pod whose skin is harder than that of ordinary berries produces a juice so sour it has been known to make children cry. Oh no. Alright, so I think we have found our sour pod bush. So we have completed this step of the tutorial. From poison to ambrosia. The food we brought with us is dwindling by the day, and more citizens are tempted to feed on local plants and drink the water from nearby lakes. However, that water is extremely toxic. Also, the local fruit and vegetables are both prickly and weird. Picking them without taking precautions is out of the question. We need to train horticulturists and build an appropriate workplace for them so they can start collecting fruit, vegetables and other blessings from our environment. As for water, we can draw it, store it and treat it to make it drinkable. Right, food and catering. We need to help everybody eat, which seems fair enough for a society and new city, really. Right, we have got not many ways of feeding our people at the moment. We need to build a cellar. This needs to be built near houses to supply them. So I'm thinking perhaps we build it here and then we use this whole section as housing, and that way the cellar can sort of produce food for all of the people that are living nearby. We need a picker's cabin as well, which we may unlock when the cellar is complete. All right. Okay. Select the cellar. Configure the cellar so it requires 100 sour pods. 100, please. To get food, you must harvest. Harvest actions achieved in buildings such as the picker's cabin allow you to harvest plants without destroying them. Righto. So let's build a picker's cabin. Near the berries, I would assume. But if we build here, close to the lab, or close to the cellar. Let's have it close to the cellar. We were supposed to build it near the Diluvian bushes. Is it close enough? We'll find out. I think it's close enough. The problem with my ADHD, I think, is that I don't necessarily manage to look at all the UI elements on a screen like this. I love city builders, I really do. They're very cozy and they're very relaxing, but often it means that I miss out on tutorial suggestions. Select a task, and picking is what I'd like to do. Let's pick some plants. We do need to assign somebody here though. We'll pick these. Let's have a second person, and then we wait for the sour pods to be picked. Recently in my garden, all of the blackberries have come to fruit. I think we're going to get 2 waves of them because there's a lot of unripe fruit now I've done all my picking. But I got 1 kilogram of fruit off this one stretch of hedge, basically. And I have absolutely no idea what to do with it. I thought I might try making blackberry scones, which is a thing I don't have a recipe for, but just sounds like it might be very nice. Perhaps blackberry and lemon. And then I really do love blackberry crumble, or blackberry and apple crumble rather. So I've frozen some because our apples aren't ripe yet. But I thought perhaps for the next round of berries I might try jam, although that seems very involved and probably requires some equipment I don't have, like the jars. Here we go, getting water. Citizens also need to drink clean water to nourish themselves. This is why housing must be placed within a range of a storage, such as a water tower. The pontoon is a building that allows you to get clean water in small quantities or toxic water in larger quantities. Use it to obtain clean water. Righto, where is our lake? I don't know. We not have any exploration we can do. Can I send you out on an exploration? No. Would you like to show me where there's clean water? So some of your citizens are homeless. Perhaps we ought to build another couple of tents while we're looking for water. Is this water? Yes, it's green. That's why I wasn't quite sure what we were looking at there. Let's build a path past the square and up to the pontoon. Hopefully moving paths will allow people to walk faster. You don't have any housing either. Okay, I'm just going to build a couple more of these. I might take them down when we can build proper housing. Let's add an analysis to something new. Let's analyze these trees. I've had to do a lot of tree analysis as well since I moved into this house not all that long ago. I have had to spend a lot of time with the plant.net app trying to identify all the plants and trees and things that are in the garden. A lot of them I can do by sight, which is great, but the problem there is that many of them are not native. I don't recognize them. I'm not sure how best to take care of them. So I've been working on that, building up a little kind of notepad full of all the things that are in the garden. But we also have quite a few sort of native fruit trees, although no duplicates, so we only get a little harvest of each thing, which is fine. Bit of a shame, because I prefer apples to pears. Analysis report says the observation towers one can spot here and there in the desert are built from the sunshade tree wood used to ensure the safety of our villagers long ago. They are now no more, than spice-scented ruins. An arborist's workshop allows you to harvest this plant. Alright, well, perhaps we won't get ahead of ourselves. We need to add a worker to the pontoon, and we need to gather some clean water. Can we tell the seller that we'd like more water than this? No. How much do we have in the way of berries? We've got like 118 now. Fine. One pontoon within range of a water tower. Well, that's probably a good thing to have, isn't it? In order to store this. Let's see, can we analyze anything new? Yes, these little doodads down here. Mushrooms? Love a mushroom. I have a real desire to try growing mushrooms, but it always seems like a big faff. And I'm not sure, even if I grew them from a kit and I grew them in a safe place, I'm still not 100% certain I'd feel safe eating them once I grew. Which is ludicrous, really, because mushrooms, they are not easily confused. It is perfectly possible to tell what kind of mushroom you have. But I just have that little lingering doubt in the back of my mind. As the great Sir Terry Pratchett once said, all mushrooms are edible, some only edible once. Right. We are still gathering our water. Have 5 housing within range of the water tower. These tents are not within range of our water tower. Are you homeless? You are. So let's build a couple more housing down here. Actually, let's cancel that one. We want our housing to be within this green limit, I think. Same here. We have finished analysing mushrooms. We have not finished analysing mushrooms. We can queue them, that's really handy. I have to say I'm really very interested in kind of food self-sufficiency. I don't have a garden big enough to manage it full time, I don't think. But there's a couple of vegetable beds. And while it's kind of high summer and we're in a massive heat wave at the moment, letting everything grow out for a year and see what kind of pops its head up. We did manage to get a lot of beetroots out of the bed from the last people that lived here. And there's a potato bed, which I'm a little scared of because there's a wasp nest in the wood nearby. But I'm going to turn that over in October, see what comes out. And then come next year, I might do some research and plant out some veggies. I have absolutely no idea what is best to grow, but I'm excited to try. Innovation says, our past is cursed with instability. According to the elders, too often we have barely avoided extinction, and we have never had the occasion to settle and expand our knowledge. Others insist that we once used to have libraries full of wisdom, which sadly failed to survive the environment's hazards. The result is the same regardless. Everything remains to be done. To transform our resources and erect new types of buildings, we will have to construct a research building with all the necessary equipment. Then we will be able to study the projects our citizens care about the most. Alright. The dry season is a recurrent challenge for your city. Consult the weather forecast tool to anticipate it and adapt your infrastructure accordingly. During this period, water holes dry up, preventing pontoons from collecting water. As the temperature rises sharply, feels like the UK right now. Adapted infrastructures are needed to limit the heat. Again, sounds like the UK right now. Moreover, dry seasons get more intense over time, sometimes marking a definitive rise in the temperatures. You will then need to find new solutions to face such extreme conditions. Okay. To take on upcoming challenges, you must unlock new tools and upgrades through research. Fine. Click to open the research tree. Each research requires an investment in resources. You can only unlock a research if it is connected to another already completed. That's how a tree works, I do believe. Unlocking a research project requires science points and heritage points. Alright, the research lab gets us science points. Then you need to build a research centre. Righto. Let's see about this research centre. Unlock the feature of the community research. I presume that will give us the recipe for that. Unlock it. Good. Alright. It's always my real habit to get to the get far too ahead of myself. I see what's happened here. Do we need 2 storage places? You know what? I'm not going to worry about it too much. We have a problem in that some of our houses have water and some of them have food, which is a bit of a problem. So what I'm actually going to do is try to get enough research points to get decent housing. Is that something that I can manage? That's a lumber mill, toxic water purification. And this research tree goes up here. Textiles. Well, I'd just like a house that isn't a tent. Tables and green spaces. Okay, I don't think we're going to get housing out of this research circle. As a result, I'm going to have to rejig things slightly, which is fine because we're still learning. We are going to move this, and we're going to put our water storage in the center of town. We're going to take our cellar. I wonder what happens if we destroy it. I'm going to put that there. Do we lose all of those resources? We put those back in a stockpile somewhere? They're here. That's okay. Fine. So hopefully, now that cellar is there, we should move our berries back to it, by the looks of things. Then we destroy these houses. Sorry about it, folks. But we are going to put you back here, close to both water and food. We have our research centre. Just needs to be within the district, I think. So let's put it over close to the lab. For no other reason than they are linked aesthetically and strategically. We're building our research centre, and then we need to assign a citizen to them. Okay. You don't have anything being researched right now. Let's research some of these. And some of those. And that. That gives us several researches to be going on with. Analyses, rather. I feel like exploration must be something that's coming, because we don't really know what's beyond the sort of fog of war here. Analysis reports. Scattering seeds and seeding gives mushrooms. Good to know. Fascinating. Most would not ever think that these rocky formations could develop organically, let alone that they could hide a spongy, soft flesh in their core. Right? Okay. And then we've got a cinder sprout, unsung hero. Every farmer takes care to keep it well away from their crops. It's helped build many a house. Few plants have ever been underappreciated as the cinder sprout. There are so many plants that go underappreciated. I have some mullein in the garden at the moment, which is, I think most would consider a weed, I suppose. But it makes a good tea, and you can make a sort of candle from its stalk, which is how it's useful to us. But I've noticed since I've left mine alone that the butterflies absolutely love the flowers, and shield bugs are all over it. So they're really important for biodiversity. So even though I might not use it for anything, the creatures out there are, and that's equally as important, I think. Right, we need to assign somebody to the research centre. We have another available citizen, so I'm going to put 2 people in there. Expanding your city requires the development of new districts. By unlocking places through research, you can transform your Founders Square into one of 6 advanced places, each matching a type of square, and each with its own specificities. Unlocking extensions requires resources, but these allow you to expand your district zone any way you want. Okay? You must find the plants that provide the necessary resources to upgrade your district. Use your book of knowledge to remember the information you've gathered about your environment. Okay. Righto. Let's unlock this research. As per the tutorial, upgrade the Founders Square into a display square. Okay. Lovely. To obtain certain resources, a refining stage might be necessary. For example, tools crafted at the forge or dishes consumed by citizens prepared in the kitchen. So we'll have a supply chain. Certain versatile production buildings can produce several resources. Alright. You must find plants that provide the necessary resources to produce simple dishes. Now, what is wrong with eating raw berries, people? Honestly. Let's buy an extension. Let's extend into this spot here. And we can include our starting stock in it and these berries. Okay. Alright, unlock the dish preparation research. So it's down here. Dish preparation. Unlock that, please. A kitchen. Okay, let's see about making a kitchen. Build one kitchen. Oh, you've got all kinds of stuff. Kitchen. Preparation of meals is centralised in a common kitchen to reduce the amount of resources. Right, let's put this kitchen here, close to the cellar. A cistern. Domestic water tanks can be found in all citizens' homes. The City Council prefers instead to manage its stock using cellars and water towers. Is that just a sort of better water tower? This is a storage unit. A mobile workbench. I don't know what that is. I'm going to grow it and see if it helps anything. I think these might be upgrades to individual houses. Fine. We are nearly done with our kitchen. Unlock this symbol to grow new research. I see. Where's our research? To grow a new... That is interesting. I don't see it. We can just go straight to it. Here we are, harvest building. To grow anew. Unlock to grow anew. That's a research on top of a research. No wonder I couldn't find it. Okay. Obtain 10 simple dishes. So we need to assign somebody. Select a recipe to start production. Choose a recipe. Rough porridge or mushroom soup? I feel like mushroom soup might be a better option. Although we don't have much in the way of mushrooms. Seeding. Let's seed. Here. Let's try that again. I think I probably did something incorrect. Oh, I see. Yeah, we don't have mushrooms. So we're going to have to choose a different recipe, I think. I'm going to go with rough porridge because we need the little seeds from the bushes. So, Pigger's cabin, add a task, turn something into seeds. Let's turn this bunch of things into seeds. And we can pick these ones instead in order to get the fruit. None of these things are giving us mushrooms. That's okay. So in our cellar then, we need to determine that we need seeds. It doesn't look as though they use seeds as an option for storage. Complete dishes are. We do seem to be adding our seeds now, though. We need to unlock a plant nursery in order to get anything new, basically. Interesting. We have no seeds in our starting stock either. So can we unlock a plant nursery? Is that something that we can do? Ugly fruit. Oh. Righto. Healthcare. Allows you to heal sick people. Don't want to harvest toxic water. Clean water's fine while we've still got very small people. Small amounts of people. We have levels of understanding and requirements. Here we are. This tells us what we've managed to collect in the last few days. The seeds give us some suitability. Seeds fall in all seasons, leaving hints of life in soils that would otherwise be dead. Seed the plants, Picker's Cabin, harvested on some plants. Let's stop picking those for now, so that we can seed these. I wonder if there's a way we can increase the number of people that are assigned to this. Yes, here we go. They were prioritizing picking those berries instead of getting the seeds, I think. We'll add the other berry selection. And now we are cooking recipes. Look at that. Everything looks warm and inviting. In fact, it looks a bit like the kitchens you get in the Monster Hunter series. Less palicos though. No cute cats cooking things for you. This seems to be the only way to get technological artifacts, so we will rip those out. Let's see, can we do any further analysis on things we've not researched before? Not by the looks of things. looks like a new thing. This maybe is a new thing. Alright, we still don't have our 10 dishes. The kitchen seems quite slow. Look at the efficiency is quite low. Maybe because we only have one person working. Let's add more people. Now the efficiency is 203. So I wonder if we can do anything inside the display square. We can buy extensions. We can keep buying extensions if we didn't want to add other districts. Tier 2 gets us maximum social. These are the items we need in order to increase this score, I think. We need some buildings. We need workshops and things like that. Well, basically we just need to build out the district by the looks of things. And some decorations as well. There we go, completed the research and cooking food step. Housing satisfaction. Faced with toxic water and prickly plants, it seems inevitable someone will get sick sooner or later. Many citizens are wondering, what will we do if that happens? It's a fair question. Free healthcare is the answer. Fear and insecurity can be as lethal as any illness we've seen in the past. Entire families deciding to take their chances alone in the desert, only to be vanquished by isolation and end up beneath the sand. Cheerful. To reassure our citizens, we should build an infirmary, assign it a doctor, and demonstrate our new scientific knowledge. I agree. Funnily enough, adding a doctor increases housing satisfaction, but they don't stack. Good to know. Yes, all right. Let's go to research and research ourselves some healthcare. I enjoy that the research options are just unlocked straight away. There's no sort of waiting around for it. Refrigerated houses. We need 50 science points for that and some planks. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cancel that and pick some... No, not that. I'd like to pick trees. Oh, we need a lumber mill. Absolutely, we need lumber mill. Fine. Do we have a lumber mill already? I'm going to unlock that because we're going to need some trees. Alright, let's build those two. Don't know if that produces what we need, but let's give it a go. We're going to pop it over here and I'll build a path to it. And take the path up through here like that. And then we need our infirmary, and that should go close to all the houses. And build that there like so. And then we need a path to it. I don't know if that's true, but I'm going to build a path to it anyway. We don't have enough boreal rocks, so we will fix that by taking some of these out, because that's what gets us those rocks. We can't do anything else with them. There's no harvesting of those. do think these houses look a little bit like lava for insects. It's an interesting aesthetic, and I sort of really wonder what the balloons are for. They seem to be connected by a pipe to these little tents, but there's no clue as to what they're actually for. In fact, all the buildings have a little element of that. The pigger's hut has got these cool mushrooms growing on top of it. The square, I think, is supposed to look like a market. The warehouse makes perfect sense. It's just a tent with some boxes in it. And the cellar shuts, which I think is important in rough weather. Again, the art style is just adorable. Okay, let's have a look at our cutting station. It's assigned 2 people. Select a recipe. Well, I need some planks, I think. So we're changing these branches that we've got into planks. Is that what we need to unlock housing? Possibly. That doesn't look like the same icon. Now I see we need to assign the walking the plank recipe, like so. And then we can change our recipe. We'll increase some of our stock of these to start with. Can we use the picker's cabin to grab some more branches? These get us boreal rocks. These sort of get us these bark strips, so we'll grab some of those. So I think those can be turned into planks. Let's assign a citizen to the infirmary, which provides complete treatment for all sicknesses that citizens can suffer from. Well, that's really handy. However, treatment duration and remedy quality may vary. Well, there. When a citizen is being treated, they can perform no other tasks. Ideally, it's better to keep your citizens away from harm. Yes, that makes sense. Reach your knowledge 4. Oh, we did it. We've already done that. Complete that step. The citizens have noticed a strange phenomenon, a luminous dot blinking chaotically and only visible at night. They fear it could be a distress signal. Numerous volunteers have asked to investigate it and organise a rescue operation if need be. Let's select some explorers and equip them for the trip. Alright, we need an exploration something. A house? Hut. Exploration hut. Exploring the world allows you to meet other human beings with whom you will be able to trade, or will sometimes join your city. You may also discover new species of plants to introduce your environment, obtain technological artifacts and other resources. Alright. We can build one of those. Some decoration. It's exciting. Alright, where's our... Oh, have we unlocked it? We haven't unlocked it. Can't build it if we don't know how. It's up there. Exploration missions. Our science points are getting few and far between. But hopefully an exploration mission will unlock some more plants for us to study. So, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pop it over here because I don't think it needs to be close to anything else. Okay. We'll choose a recipe. Let's choose planks. please, because I would like to get some houses. Build the explorer's hut. On it, explore any destination, bring back a tablet, and then decipher that tablet. Righto. We need a water tower nearby for that hut. I wonder if they will carry that water to that water tower. I hope so. Because otherwise we're going to have to move both of those things. Which is alright, because we can put one here. In fact, let's do that. Let's pop that over here. Add a water tower to it. And then we can assign different recipes to each of those. Gather a team of scientists to explore the outer reaches of the world. World map. World map is divided into regions. Exploring each one will display destinations. There's a camp and 2 antennas. Let's explore an antenna. We can't. We don't have enough people. That's okay. We probably don't need this many people in the kitchen. Or in the lab. That seems to have gone okay. We are moving water to that cutting station. What I may do though is once this one's built, because it's closer to the water, I'm going to make this one the plank generation and this one the generation thing for recipes that don't need water. Oh, they all need water. You know what? Never mind. Okay? No. Swap that over. So one person, let's choose plank recipe. And call it good. Yes. Okay. Let's try an exploration again now that we've freed some people up. Send the exploration. You don't have enough resources. We need 24, I'm giving them 100. Let's give them that. You have enough rations for 1 trip out and 1 trip back. Let's go with that. Off they go. Right, they're doing their thing. Do we have enough for housing now? We don't have enough science points. Can we use our lab? To analyse things. Do we get more science points if we analyse things again? I'm not clear on that. So let's try it. Would you be an explorer? That sound exciting, going to unknown places in the world? In many ways, there's not very much in the way of exploration options available on Earth anymore. You know, only the really extreme areas. But there's things that still have appeal. Like if it were guaranteed safe to explore under the sea in deep areas, perhaps that would be exciting. I think I'd rather be an explorer on a new planet, as long as it wasn't just rock. Like if this was a new planet, I'd be very excited to go and look at plants and things. That would be amazing. Right, we have 38 science points. I'm going to keep an eye on this number. It is going up, and I think that's because we're continuing to study things. We need it to get to 50. Let's have a look and see if these houses need anything else. We should develop our houses so that they prevent heat stroke. By combining insulating stone walls with ventilation windows, we could maintain bearable temperatures. I'm still confused as to why there isn't just normal housing. But, you know, who am I to judge? Arboriculture wishes to make sustainable use of this area's trees. We should train some culturists and equip them with logging tools and safety protocols. That, I think, would be handy. Okay. But I think our priority is probably houses, at least until we know what the houses need to be built, because it's possible that we will need planks anyway. Are these things that we can study? No, it just sort of seems to be an area of shrubby. That's okay. We're up to 45 on our science points. The expedition has reached its destination. Fossilizer. A storm is raging, with close to no mountains around. The explorers are exposed to the risks of lightning. Searching for shelter, they follow tracks left by previous travellers and reach a tower equipped with a lightning rod. Lit from the inside, the building arouses the group's curiosity. We shall enter it. The scientists enter a round hall, at the centre of which lies a dome. A complex formula is carved on a nearby stone slab. It seems the central dome is a machine intended for condensing plant matter until it fossilizes and becomes mineral. However, it requires a live storm and a large quantity of supplies to be activated. Wow. I'm not sure I want to do either of those. Oh, I see. It unlocks the trades at the bartering outpost. Well, then, let's unlock fossilized food. Explore a new destination. Let's... do we have to explore this starting area? Return to the city. If a tablet can be obtained in that area, presumably then we didn't explore properly in the starting area. Fair enough. Okay, I know that you don't have any of your things. So I'm just going to leave you there empty because we need logging in order to get that material for you. Question is, do we choose logging first or do we choose housing first? It strikes me that perhaps the housing would require logs, so we probably want to do that first. Okay, now what always sort of not irritates me, but it's one of those things that I always struggle to get my head around, is that you need to build out your first initial city in all of these city builders in a certain way when you first start, and then you get housing unlocked or you get districts unlocked or whatever that game offers you, and then it's always my initial desire to just tear everything down and start again with the layout. At least since you've got all of the research and stuff unlocked, then maybe you're not starting completely. So the expedition has returned, but it didn't get me a tablet. So, do we just not go so far? Gather a team of scientists, choose an expedition to send out. This is our analysis. I have just realized that we can move buildings. We do not need to destroy them. It just takes time. I think this is referring to this whole area being a possible location to find tablets. So that's what we're going to do. Expedition is already being prepared. That's fine. Let's hope we get a tablet at the next place and have a look at our research in the meantime. We're 63, so let's unlock our houses, a stone house, and we can see what we need down the bottom. Some of this fossilized mineral and some planks. We will only be able to build 4 houses because we don't have that many planks, so I suspect it might be better to unlock the tree cutting first. So let's do that. Now, we want it to be in this district. We want it to be close to these trees. So let us pop it over here by the lumber mill. Let's move this. And this to be close to the lumber mill. Like so. And we'll call this our little lumber area. And then we just need this number to get back up to 50. We have to wait for our expedition to reach their location before we get another cutscene. And we can see the progress bar with this little yellow circle here, which is fine. Let's have a look at our food stocks. Let's put that up to 100 because it seems that expeditions can use those. We don't have a way to make vegetables yet. The arborist workshop has been done. So let's... we don't need resin, I don't think. So let's prune these trees. That gets us branches. And then we can turn branches into planks. And you can turn these into branches. That should give us a complete chain. Since these, I think, give us the little things that we turn into planks and branches. That seems like a chain to me. We just need to assign some people to each one of these. We have 4 available citizens, so I'm going to put 2 in each. Like so. That should give us some planks, and then we should be able to build our stuff. We need some of these rocks, so I'm gonna pick from the giant, build up our stocks of that while our science also increases. It does get very satisfying after a while, I have to say. You start really seeing the chains. Some games are good at showing you the chains with literal arrows. This goes to this, goes to this. Games like this game, like Synergy, you sort of need to know what you're looking for, I think, because you have to be able to visualize the chain. In this case, our petrified giant produces the little bark strips, which can be turned into branches, and then our branches get turned into planks. And our pruning also gets us branches to turn into planks. And then we can build our houses. And our people won't have to live in tents anymore. The expedition has reached its destination. Let's see what they find. Light strands. In the bed of what had probably been a strong stream years long ago, the explorers follow the luminous signal they spotted from the city. That leads them to a cave entrance. Although the cold coming out of the cave appeals to the thirsty travellers, it forebodes something strange. Once they enter the cave's narrow entrance, their path stops, closed off by a rectangular slab. The interstices, I think that's how you say that, on both sides are lit in a rather chaotic way. The rays of light seem to persist in the air and on the dust. What could this slab be hiding? Let's use some water to discover a passage. The explorers freeze and hold their breath, listening to the water seeping into the cracks and cavities of the cave's ground. Using echoes to guide their actions, they discover a side passage. The tunnel has obviously been dug by human hands. Some tools lie on the ground, apparently abandoned by their owners. The party collects them before carrying on their expedition. There is a vortex in the middle of the room with a glow that provokes headaches. Metallic contraption forms the perimeter around the whirlwind, but it's hard to guess its use as it seems to be out of order. One of the explorers introduces a tool into the vortex by fixing it to a rope, and the item comes back unharmed. She asks for permission to explore the inside. Well, off you go then. The explorer comes out of the vortex, her face and body marked with the blue symbols found on the tablets. She seems suddenly filled with new wisdom. The expedition's overload capacity prevented it from receiving the full capacity. Oh, that's a shame. You have found a tablet Return to the city. Let's go. Return to the city. I tell you what this game reminds me of, particularly with story elements like that one, is a TTRPG called Numenera, although there is a CRPG as well, where humanity or civilization has been built on top of at least 9 aeons long civilizations that have grown to technological heights and then been destroyed by one thing or another. So the world is now simply just laying on this foundation of chaotic intersecting technologies that have nothing to do with each other, but because the society is in essence in a Stone Age space, we don't know how to use any of this technology, so it's like magic. Receipt of analysis reports. This is our science. I've never played in a Numenera game, but I've wanted to. I am, however, a forever GM, so it would have to be me that ran it, and it does intimidate me a bit. I suppose we could build a pontoon onto this waterhole, but I think the lake is probably a better source of water for us. It did say something about how waterholes can dry up sometimes if the weather gets really hot. Okay, we're at 47, nearly at our houses. Hopefully our lab is still doing its business. Let's just study the trees again and wait for our expedition to get home. A new tablet to decipher in the research. Righto, open the research tree. In the research tree, tablets allow you to unlock specific research projects that are otherwise unobtainable. They can use to gain many science points or heritage points. Fine. Let's decipher a tablet. We could have sun awnings, water extraction. Let's have sun awnings. I worry about the heat that it was talking about, and we have a massive pond which may or may not dry up. We completed our sun awnings research. Using less heat-sensitive materials, we could install awnings in public spaces to allow our citizens to enjoy the outdoors while protecting themselves from the sun. Project some shade around buildings. Lovely. A district bonus. Districts must contain certain buildings and plants to increase their development score. Each reach score tier unlocks bonuses that are essential to help your city evolve, increasing well-being and other such good things. Build a district of each type to maximize their score and unlock these bonuses. Right. Each satisfaction bonus has a tier, and we saw this earlier when we were looking at our district. Satisfaction improvements provided by bonuses are capped according to their tier. Right? So in this case, we would need to upgrade with all of these things. Our community, which seemed doomed not so long ago, is thriving once more. Despite all its hazards, the world is no longer seen as just a menace. It is also viewed as an open door. Still, everyone is aware that the slightest sign of complacency, our infrastructure could become overwhelmed by the unexpected and by our community's growing demands. We must improve our understanding of the natural world to predict it despite its unpredictability. Fortunately, we are not the only ones facing this challenge. A new group is aiming to recreate bonds between isolated camps and share humanity's knowledge. We need to follow in their footsteps. Righto. Victory! The Origins is completed and Scorched Earth campaign is completed. We have managed the introductory tutorial. Give ourselves a clap on the back, everybody. Well done. Where others would merely hope to survive, you have reached prosperity. Your city is in the first step in humanity's blooming and is in harmony with its environment. Very nice. Let's continue. I feel like we will continue on with this city, certainly for this video, and see how well we get on. Mostly because we're nearly unlocked housing. So let's unlock it now. No expedition. Let's set an expedition off in this direction. So we can unlock houses, so let's do that now. They look different. I think we could build different houses, but I don't know that they give different bonuses or anything. Alright, everybody's going to be homeless for a bit. Oh, I can move them, I suppose. Let's move them over here. And build new housing in its place. Because it's close to the cellar and close to the water tower. I sort of enjoy this little one with its barrel outside. Let's build two here next to each other. And a path. It can take capacity 3, whereas a tent, I think, can only carry 2, so we should need less than we need for tents. Can we fit another one here? We can. So let's do that. Can't fit one there though. That's alright. We don't have any textiles for the awnings yet. While those build, I wonder if we should pick what research we're going to pick next. I do sort of wonder if textiles might be the next thing, to be honest. Or we could unlock a new public space arrangement. Composting. We still don't need water treatment, really. Where is our picking? We harvest building, picking gear, ugly fruit, and to grow anew. Farming doesn't seem to be on this research tree. I wonder if we are limited because we're in the tutorial campaign, as you sort of look at it. Tool production, I think, is possibly high up there, but I do think textiles is probably the next thing. We need 30 research points for that. Like so. Wow, it takes a long time to build a house. I'm glad I moved the tents and not and not destroyed them. Do we have any indication of how our people are doing? The answer to that is almost certainly yes. Citizens roster. We've got 3 that are idle. Can we improve our district? We can certainly buy an extension, but I don't think we need one just yet. Okay, so we need to build some upgrades. What are these? They're sort of little improvements. And we need some lights. We haven't unlocked those. And I didn't see them on the research either, so I sort of wonder if we're not going to be able to make any of those. Resilient. Place 10 copies of suggested elements, so that's planting plants. We'll see what adding those exciting systems and things. Decorations, that's how it's going to classify them. Alright. That will give us 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that's what it's asking for. Expedition has reached its destination, the village of the dead. Ominous. Spotting silhouettes in the distance, the party's enthusiasm quickly turns to deep unease. What they have taken for humans are actually scarecrows made of straw, twigs, roots and flowers. They're bent over gardens and sitting at dining tables like real people. Suddenly, one of the scarecrows starts moving. A female, about 6 feet tall and looking very much alive, is holding a cart with both hands, an 11-year-old boy by her side. We will observe them. The tall woman places shrubs and fresh fruit bowls next to the scarecrows. Meanwhile, the boy takes long wooden sticks and a bag of fibre out of the cart and starts working on a new sculpture. The explorers ask the boy what he's doing. He explains that this village is a funerary reflection of their village, a place where the dead can carry on their existence. When the woman calls out for the boy, he leaves behind him 2 new effigies, an adult wearing gardening gloves with a tiny baby in its arms. Which approach will you choose? Collect anything possible from the plants, leave the place intact. We will gain heritage points for the latter. We don't have any carbon bulbs to make an offering. Let's leave it intact. Happy to have discovered some of the neighbours' customs, the party turned back from their funerary piers, casting one last glance towards the new effigy. Let's return to the city. Heritage points, I think, are important. Okay. In this research tree, I think we may have bumped up against most of the things that we need. Let's unlock textiles. And perhaps add that to our roster. There's a whole other tab down here for resource production that includes a pharmaceutical factory, and I had no idea. Let's pop that pharmaceutical factory up by the infirmary. Let's have a weaver's workshop down here. Housing. This satisfaction average is, it's not in a district. Alright, we need to upgrade and add our district expansion to here, I think. Because they are not in a district. Alright, people are in these, I think. Let's destroy this. I don't think we have much in the way of social. Right, we've got food production, health, well-being, knowledge, decoration. This does not produce any social stuff. Expedition return. Close that down. Okay, did we get our bonus? We did. Let's have another expansion. In this direction. Okay, we don't have any of these buildings, so it's sort of locked. Is there a function whereby we can plant things, or is that simply locked to the tutorial? It's a good question, and I don't think I have an answer to it at the moment. Again, let's have a look at the resource tree again. Composting, I think, allows you to transform resources into other resources. At times, biodegradable waste issued from our operations can prove useful. This composter can decompose food to produce rotten resources which are rich in biological matter. There does not appear to be something like a next step, however, to allow us to farm. Getting tools and supply chain, I think, are unnecessary at this point. This composter requires 30 science points, which we're not far off. So perhaps we will unlock that next. And quite a lot of stuff still left in our stock from when we first moved here, which is fine. We're at the temperate season. Is everybody housed? Got a lot of idle people still. Okay, we keep using our bark to make branches, so I'm going to stop production so we can build up some more bark, so that we continue to build our weaver's workshop. This house is unpopulated, which suggests to me, if I destroy some of these tents, we should populate some of our houses. And we can probably build some more. Ooh, we're beginning a new cycle, temperate season, and we got 4 new children. Does that mean we have unhoused people? Not so far. It's interesting that you can't upgrade things from within this menu, or at least I don't see a way. Which is fine. Often you can just, some games would allow you to increase this rustic tent directly to a house without doing anything in between. These have no water. So I'm going to stop the production of planks for now, because we need to build our water back up. I'm also going to build a second pontoon, I think, because we have a lot of things that are requiring water at this point. So we need a way to refill our towers, basically. Knowledge reflects the search for erudition and apprenticeship. You obtain it through research, knowledge transmission, and skills development. How does that apply to a house? I wonder if it just indicates how well educated someone is. Let's add 2 of our idle people into this pontoon. And add some idle people into that pontoon. Get that water producing. The temperature seems okay, but we are in the temperate season at the moment. How's our inhabitants? So we can get rid of a couple more of these tents. That looks fine and pretty well managed. We don't have any analysis queued up. I suspect later in the game you can get more automated research going. Alright, we have our weaver's workshop, which actually I'm going to leave empty because it needs water at the moment. We're still trying to build our stocks back up. This, I think, is where we might want to consider getting toxic water, because we're not able to keep up with demand. So I'm going to unlock our toxic water collection. And then we should be able to build one of those. here. It should mean that we, instead of collecting clean water, we collect toxic water, and we get a lot more bang for our buck, in essence. But it does mean that we need to purify it. I grew up near a reservoir. It's just a rain basin, but it was great for wildlife because you could go and have a look at all of the birds making their homes on the reservoirs. Unfortunately, a lot of councils are selling off their reservoirs at the moment, which means they're being too intensely developed. We need to build some more, certainly in the south of England, because certainly in this really hot summer that we're having, we have been close to drought a few times, and that is not great. Hosepipe bans and not enough water for the water table to recover after the hot weather. In fact, it hasn't rained for over 2 weeks, which is a struggle for my poor garden, but we're managing. Right, how close to done are you? 95, 98, 99, 100. Let's put a person in. Choose a recipe. Fungal oxidization. How do we get mushrooms? Productions. Harvested on some plants. Produced at the arranged cave. Interesting. I don't think we have the ability to create an arranged cave. At least not here. I think we might have reached a point where we have done everything that we can in the tutorial scenario. Looking at the research tree, I think later scenarios of this game probably open up quite a lot and have quite significantly more in-depth supply chains and what have you. So I think I might call it there and say that we have achieved everything we can. I hope this video has been helpful for you to relax. It has been lovely spending time with you. Please subscribe to the Lullawix channel if you want to stay up to date with all of the relaxation and fall asleep videos that are on there. If you'd like to see more energetic gameplay videos, then subscribe to Astra. I hope that you have a wonderful rest of your day or night. Bye bye.